After winning Miss Teen World in 2009, Amy was approached in London by an Indian director who flew her out for her first role. Since then, she's starred in more than a dozen films, worth more than £60 million. And right now, she's the female lead in the most expensive Indian film ever made, called 2.0.
Yeah.
Today, they're filming the big dance number.
I'm not the strongest dancer, I must admit. It's not in my blood to dance at the drop of a hat.
Perhaps not as easily as maybe those that have been brought up with dance.
Well, 100%, which the majority of
People in
India
have.
have.
Absolutely.
There's only one dance in this whole film, one song, so it had to be spot on. I was having a sleepless night.
Morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, my baby, how are you?
How are you this morning?
Good.
How did you sleep? Where's the wig? Where's everything?
Amy's dance scene will shoot in less than 2 hours.
Get me those bins over here. Go back. Piche.
On set, choreographer Bosco has been flown down from Mumbai to design this dance as well.
I think it's chaos. We're waiting for lights to be fixed, dancer costumes. So when things are messy, and then suddenly things come together. That's the fun of it, I guess.
Natalie spent 3 years training as a professional dancer in Cambridge.
They're trying to put lights on the costume, which don't seem to be fitting on right now. It's been happening every day, I'm not going to lie. Every time I've been in here for a couple of hours, doing it again and again.
In the 4 months she's been in India, she's danced in 20 films. But today's shoot has been one of the toughest.
I was dancing this morning and I literally felt one of the strings start electrifying me, and because I've got a belly button piercing, it was caught up with the metal as well.
Just like music rehearsal.
There are 55 backing dancers in Amy's scene today. It seems all the male dancers are Indian, but just like the house party scene in Mumbai, the majority of the women are Western. It may be because they help a film like this appeal to an international audience, but it's also impossible to ignore the fact that India is still obsessed with fair skin. The Indian skin whitening industry is worth hundreds of millions of pounds, and many of the largest brands are endorsed by Bollywood stars. Bollywood is often called the dream factory, and part of the dream it's selling is a westernized ideal of beauty, which doesn't reflect the average Indian woman.
Brought England to India, of course. In fact, it's actually just full of coffee, but it looks very English. I just put my pinky finger out.
2.0 is one of the first Indian films to be shot using 3D cameras, and in recent years, some of the world's best technicians from Hollywood have started moving to India, drawn by the big budgets and ambition.
I don't want to disparage Hollywood, but I'm having more fun on this project than I ever did there.
Ray Hanesian is a 3D stereographer.
After 50 years, this is the gig I've been dreaming of. These cameras are the most precise I think have ever been built. We see every bit of what was put into building this set comes right to you in the audience. So this is really the most fun I've ever had doing my job.
Despite the big budgets, they're relying on some surprisingly simple tricks.
Door open, lift update பண்றோம். மேல போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் இறங்கி door open பண்ணி வருது. Door open, only close. Open. This only close.
Everything in the set is operated manually by people. We don't have any kind of motors or anything. We have to lower it by hands. We have to get it high by hands. Everything is manual.
For assistant art director Kishore Rajendran, cheap labour costs mean he can assign a person to many of the tasks that might be mechanised elsewhere.
We trust manpower. We trust manpower more than machines.
Amy is one of the biggest female stars in this region. She has more than 4 million followers on Instagram, which is surprising considering that when she first arrived in India, she couldn't speak a word of the language and could barely dance.
Well, this is the guy who's actually made me dance. I could not dance before, and prior to this, I was useless. So I wasn't. Don't get that video up.
I've got. When she started off, she couldn't hear the beats.
I didn't listen to the music.
She didn't listen to the music, so she couldn't really understand. So she would just miss a beat, and she would get an awkward posture. And I proposed to her, learn to enjoy your dancing. Forget the awkwardness of what it is. Just learn to enjoy your dancing, and eventually you'll start breathing in.
But Bosco makes that easy to do. I love working with you. Everything's possible. That's what I love about Indian cinema. If there's a problem, it's okay. There's 3 solutions we can do when we get on set, so nothing's too big a deal, which is great. I've been here for 7 years, but it still feels so new to me, and I'm constantly learning. I do wonder how I managed to get here.
The journey from Liverpool beauty queen to Indian film star has been an extraordinary experience for Amy and her family.
I'm so proud of her. So's her mum, so's Liverpool, so should be the UK. And let's hope that it goes from strength to strength.